Good morning, friends. Esther here. It's Esther and June. June is coming up in a minute. We are so sorry. We are 7 minutes late. We were having technical issues. Thank you for your patience. Hello, Julius. Hello, Sister Chinwe. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Hello, Amy. How are you? There she is. We are so sorry, friends. We are so late today, but we try to finish on time. Let me just adjust. Okay, just trying to make sure I am seen. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. So how was your week, friends? Hope it was exciting. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so let's go on. Today our topic, we're still on the series Discover Yourself. I'm telling you, it has been a long one. Over 2 months, we're on the same topic. So the first time we discussed this topic, Discover Yourself, we were defining what it really means. What does it really mean to discover yourself? Why is it important? What are the negative consequences of not having it in life? Then we expanded the discussion to answer the question, who am I? Just trying to understand the process of actually discovering ourselves. Then the next discussion was about self-development, that we can discover ourselves through developing ourselves. If you have one skill, you go on and try to acquire another skill. So that was also part of self-development, discovering yourself. Then after that topic, we talked about vision. We discussed what a vision is, and we gave guidelines of how you can come up with a vision statement for yourself, for your organization, for your family, whatever the situation may be.
Yeah.
So vision is actually defining your destination in life. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to what would you want to achieve? So after that, the next discussion was was sort of interesting because we thought about women in Africa. So we brought in a guest, Sister Chinwe, who discussed the limitations of women in Africa in discovering themselves and how those women can actually rise above these limitations. So if you've missed any of these videos, please go back to the history. The videos are on the timeline, on Chinwe, on June's timeline. Find time to go back and listen to those discussions. They will help you catch up and see where we're coming from. Okay, so now we are discussing Discover Yourself, and the subtopic is goal setting. How do we set goals? Why are goals important? This is actually defining how to get to your destination. You know, you need a process, you need a system, you need a plan to get to your destination. You can't just wake up and say, oh, it will just fall from heaven. There have to be a process in place. So we need to plan and set systems in place to help us attain our goals and visions. Okay. So, June, can you please say hi to our viewers?
Yeah, good
Introduce yourself.
morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. It's a privilege to be back again to share about this wonderful topic. And I just believe that even those you who are watching, some of these things we are sharing, they are not new. You have experienced them. So we would really like you to put a comment, another add point, share your experience so that together we can learn, because we are all learning. Even though we are hosting, the talk today, it's not that we know everything. So we are encouraging us to bring in our experiences. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, June. So friends, please do share on your timelines. Let other people join the discussion and learn one or two things to help them in their life pursuits. Okay, so what is a goal? What is a goal? Can someone type what they understand a goal to be? Hello, Emmy. Emmy is my brother. He's saying, how are you? Thank you for joining us. So, has anyone written goal? June, can you see anything?
Not yet.
Okay, so let me go on because we've lost time. So a goal is that object of your ambitions or effort. It is that aim or the desired result that you want to achieve. So it can be you as an individual, you as a family, as a couple, you as an organization, wherever the situation may be. So it's that aim you're trying to achieve in your pursuits. So goals are also ideas of a desired future, the result that someone or a group of people want to achieve in a given period. And giving that period for a goal is so important, as we shall discuss later. So that is a goal. Okay. So what are the characteristics of goals? We want to understand goals. We want to understand how we can formulate one. If you notice on our notice, we put up a photo which just summarizes everything in the icon SMART. But before that SMART, we've added an I, which is I SMART. So the I stands for intentional. Goals have to be intentional. Goals do not just come, out of a dream. You just wake up and something is there. It doesn't come as a miracle. You're believing that, okay, do you just wake up one day and your God is in front of you or it's handed to you in a silver platter? No. A goal has to be intentional. You have to sit down, think about it, and plan towards it. Everything you do every day, it could be a call, giving a call, attending a function, everything has to be intentional, helping you achieve that goal. If you're making a phone call, you want to get information so that that information can help you achieve that goal, okay, that aim, that ambition, that object that you are looking at. If you're attending a party, the aim could be, yes, you're celebrating, but actually you're there to meet some people and have a few conversations. Why? To help you achieve your desired goal. So everything you do has to be intentional. A goal has to be intentional. So setting goals actually is, I forgot to mention this, is so important in discovering ourselves, because what defines us as people, our gifts, our giftings, our talents, has to come out in form of a product. And that product could be a goal. So you have to show people what defines you, what you believe in, what your values are. It's not just words, but it has to be a product. That means you are working towards a goal, something that you show or look at and know that this is what describes me. So that is why discovering yourself, the topic, is so important. And also talking about goals is part of discovering ourselves. Okay. Hello, Ellie. She's saying hello, June and Esther. We are watching from Dar es Salaam. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, so I is intentional, okay? Then S, goals have to be specific.
Yep.
S stands for specific. You have to have a target. It's just like when you have a gun and you're aiming to shoot at something. You can't just be shooting randomly. You end up having accidents, shooting the wrong people, sorry, or objects, You have to have a target. If you're shooting an animal, shooting a target, you have to aim towards that target. So having goals to be specific helps you remain focused. You channel your energy in one direction, and that gives you more, what can I say? More zeal, more, direction in where you're going. Okay. So you have to specify exactly what you want. For example, if you say that you want to educate children and you just stop there and that is your goal, it is sort of vague, because what type of children? Are they your own children, street children, children in the community? And what age group? Is it 0 to 2, 3 to 7, 8 to 12, or 13 to 19? You have to specify so that it helps you target the right people to get your result. Otherwise, if it's just vague, when you're communicating to people, it's not clear what you want. And it also gives them an impression that you actually don't know what you want because you haven't specified it. So in this case, you have to specify, okay, if it's children in the communities or street children, I'm targeting age 15 to 19. That makes it more concrete. Okay. The M, we are moving on to in the word SMART. Now we are on M. The letter M stands for measurable. Our goals have to be measurable. Okay, what do we mean by that? For example, the example I've given of educating children. To measure your goal, you have to put a figure to the children. How many children will they be? Are you targeting 50, 100, 200, or you want 1 million? You have to let your goals be measurable according to your capacity, according to your resources. So if you cannot, you just say, I want to help children. Well, there are billions of children in the world. Can you cater for all of them? You must be God to do that. So if your capacity is 50 people, specify, I want to reach out to 50 people within the specific time. Okay, so that makes your goal more concrete and achievable, and therefore it motivates you. Otherwise, if it's too big, you may get discouraged. So measuring it helps us understand it. June, any comments before I go on?
Yeah, on measurable, it's very, very specific because it helps you also to evaluate yourself. So
Yes.
you can just be educating children, and maybe, if you don't have something to measure yourself, you can just do one and console yourself and say, actually, I've educated a child, or you can do two. But probably your capacity could have given 20 other children an opportunity. So it's better to measure yourself, because that's also where you will know your capacity, because sometimes you can put a measure and then you realize, oh, actually, I overdid it. So you can reduce, and you need to have a target you're working on, because it will help you adjust yourself.
Okay. Then the A, we are moving on to A. A is for achievable. Your goal has to be achievable. Okay. So you don't want to be too ambitious to, target something that is too much for you, way beyond your capacity. So as you say, depending on your resources, let your goal be achievable according to you, to what you can do. For example, you cannot say, I desire to build a house within a week or two. That is not achievable, okay, because there's lots of processes involved in a house. So be realistic. In fact, we are going on to the R, which is realistic as well. Okay, so R is realistic. Let your goal be realistic. Okay, be real with your circumstances. Okay, the reason why people give up easily is because in the first place they were not realistic with what they wanted to achieve. So they dreamed something too big, and then they didn't plan on how to really tackle it. And a good example is marriage. Someone wakes up, oh, I want to marry. You want to marry, but first of all, you're still in your parents' house. You don't have your own home. You're still looking for a job. You don't have a job. So you want to start a family, and you can't even see how you will sustain the family. You have to be realistic with what you have so that it is attainable. All the other characteristics fall in place. Lastly, the goal has to be time bound. It's very important for us to set boundaries to our goals. Otherwise, we'll end up chasing a mirage that you never catch up with what you're chasing. But if you say, oh, I want to achieve this in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, actually it helps you, it motivates you. You have a reason to wake up in the morning. There's that motivation, that drive behind you. Oh, I have this time I've set up, so I have to achieve it. You wake up. Without a time boundary, you'll not be driven. You say, oh, I can postpone, procrastination comes in. And guess what? How long do you know you live on earth? It's always good to give your time a time scale. I want to achieve this through this time so that you actually live to see that. Okay? Be fulfilled. So it's really important. And also putting a time bound shows that you've thought about the processes, you've planned. So when you're communicating to people, they know that actually you know what you're doing. Okay. So June, tell us the process of setting a goal.
Yeah, I'm smiling here. I've seen a comment Chinwe has put. She said chasing wind. Yeah, when you don't have a time bound, it's like you're chasing wind, which you will never catch,
You will never catch. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've seen Pastor Ellie, I've seen Kate, I've seen James. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope we will get something out of it. Okay, moving on to how to set the goals, like the steps. If you recall on our previous broadcast, we are talking about vision and passion. And one of the things which we are talking about was that the fact that your vision really needs to be bigger than you, and your vision needs to be something that is addressing a situation out there. It's not just it's not about you. It's about bringing a transformation out there. It doesn't have to be mega, like worldly. It can start within your local community and what. So we just want us to remember, when we are talking about goals, we are relating it to a vision, and that vision ought to be focusing at bringing a positive change around you. Bringing a positive change, you can start within your neighborhood, it can be in your local town, it can be in your nation, and you can expand as you are going. But for today's sake, we are going to give practical example, and we are just going to pick one little aspect. We are not saying that this is the ultimate, but it's just an example. So an example which we'll come up with is going to be about somebody doing something. So the first step when we are talking about setting goals is ask yourself this question: what do you want to achieve? When you are setting goals, the first question is, what do you want to achieve? Because that will answer your question, what? And this question is about your ultimate result. That is your vision, the bigger picture of whatever you want to do. So what is it that you want to focus on? Write it down. And maybe if you are there, you have a pen and a paper, just think of what do you really want to see out there change. What is the thing that you really want to contribute towards its it becoming good? So you can take a second and just think, because normally that one will just shoot up out of your heart, because it's your burden, it's your vision, it's your passion. So I am going to give an example. Maybe somebody, you are out there and you are thinking, in this community, I am seeing that in our town, catering business are just doing fast food, unhealthy options are there, and you're just thinking, what can I do to change? When you look at schools where your children are going, probably there are no healthy options for lunches and the snacks which they are getting, and that is really burdening you. So probably you are thinking, if I have everything in my way, I am going to run a healthy food catering business. That is just an example. We are saying that can be your vision, that can be your ultimate goal, that you want to run a healthy catering business. Why? It's because you have noticed an issue in your community about unhealthy options which are being provided either in restaurants or in fast foods, in takeaways and all those kind of things. So you want to correct that. So that one, you have answered the question, what? But you remember Esther was saying your goals really need to have a time. So the second step of you setting your goal is allocate a time frame for that goal. If you do not have a time frame, you can continue and continue and continue. You know, as I'm talking, I've just remembered, like football. Football is set, you know, like 90 minutes, you have to score. You don't score, they will increase. Something has to happen. So you need to have a time frame, you know. So, for example, with our example, which we have given ourselves of running a healthy catering business, I am going to give myself maybe 5 years. 5 years, I would really want to see my business running and fully, you know. So that's an idea. Somebody will be sitting there and say, wow, that's big. Indeed, it's big because you are addressing an issue in the community. So this of catering, we are just giving it as an example. You, wherever you are, you will have your own something that you really want to address. So once you have done that, it means now your goal, your vision will read running a healthy food catering business by December 2023. So you have given yourself, you know, what do you want to achieve, and then you have set a time. But you see, we were saying our goals need to be specific because the healthy catering business is big. Are you going to be supplying just food, or you are going to be giving us, you know, equipment? So what you really need to sit down and start breaking it down. So this leads us to our third question, you know, to our third question, which is about drawing a time frame. But you know, before you start drawing a time frame, you need to define, to break down your bigger goal. So you're saying you want to run a healthy catering business by December 2023. Sit down and ask yourselves, what are the things you will want by 2023 to see that they are in place? Because those will be your roadmap. It's like when someone is playing football, all they are trying to direct the ball is towards the net to make sure that the ball crosses the line and touches the net, and that's when we declare goal. That's all the footballers are doing, trying to kick the ball this side, that side, but it has to get there. So we are saying that with this example, by 2023, December 2023, I want to have a healthy catering business. But you need to specify. So I will give an example. Maybe you want to see healthy options available in the restaurant, in food business. Let people have healthy options because you're addressing an issue. You want to see reduced unhealthy eating habits. So you want to see that eating habits have been are geared towards becoming healthy. Not every day McDonald's and the KFCs. They are beautiful once in a while, but let us see another healthy option. You know, you want to see in your business that by 2023, I will actually be operating on my own premises. You might start by renting, but maybe by 2023, you want to see you will be operating on your own premises. You want to see your business running maybe from 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 p.m. every day. So those are, you know, are just examples of how you are going to make your goal be more specific. You want to see, you know, Maybe by 2023, your business can even provide healthy options in bigger functions like weddings or what? Functions of up to 300 people. That's a goal you are setting for yourself. So you will start working towards achieving that. So you can list down all the things you want to see by 2023. So I will call those as outcome goals. So those are the things you will paint on your vision board, you will put there, and you will say, if God grants me life, by 2023, I want to see I have achieved these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So you list them. So those ones, I call them the outcome goals. Then you need to sit down now and break those outcome goals. How are you going to get there? Because when you look at it, you will start even discouraging probably yourself by thinking, this is very, very big. How am I going to achieve this? But you need now to start breaking it down. If your project is going to finish 2023, it means you have like 5 years. So I will advise you to now break it down into yearly goals. So you can say, out of my 5-year project of building this successful, healthy catering business, year 1, I will just be doing foundation work, preparation work, because there is a lot of things that need to be in place before the business takes off. So you will say the first year will be about preparing. The first year will be just doing foundational work.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's year 1. Then you will say year 2, business launch.
June, before you go on, what can be the examples of foundational work?
Yes, I will come to that. I just want to see to make the person break the year into 5 years, and then I will go into detail in say in 1 year. So you will say like preparation work, you will do that year 1. So year 2, you will say I am going to launch my business, and it will start taking place, but we will be operating on a rental premises. So you know that, okay, year 2, this is going to be our focus. We will start our business, but at this time we'll be, operating at a rental premises. Then you set yourself a goal. By the 3rd year of this project, we need to have secured our own premises. And then you now realize that this project is becoming bigger. Maybe by year 4, you say, I will have to, because we have already secured our permanent place, we are going to install equipment on our premises now. So that will come with its own chain of activities. Maybe year 5, now you say, we have secured our place, we have already set it up. Year 5, we are going to move now into our permanent premises, but also maybe you're going to start raising up other small scale business people, to replicate what you are doing. So you can see from that mega business vision of yours of setting a healthy catering business, you have now made yourself a favor for breaking it into 5 installments. So you are going to just be dealing with one portion at a time, because if you don't break it down, it becomes so overwhelming to the extent that you can become so discouraged, and you can give up. But when you break it down, it helps you to now focus. So I am going to take us to another level of now starting to break down the years, break down the years. And the example we are going to give, we are going to break down the first year. So if you recall our year 1, we have said year 1 is going to be foundational work. So we are going to break down that goal into becoming something we can achieve. So in a year, you've got 12 months. Say, for example, your project is starting in January. January 2019. You need to know, what will I do in January? So you break now your yearly goal, you break it into 12 months. We have 12 months in a year. So you put January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You will spread it out. Then you start to ask yourself, what will I be doing in the first month? So probably you look, okay, I really need to identify my catering specialty. Catering is a large thing. We have said that your goal needs to be specific. So you need to identify what is your specialty. Are you going to be dealing with snacks? Are you going to be doing hot meals? Are you going to be doing things like just takeaways? So you need to be very specific of what you really want to do. So you break down that one. You say, okay, I will identify what my specialty is, and probably I will do that in January. By January, I should know exactly where my business is taking me to. Then you ask yourself, once you've known your specialty, what will be your menu? Draw up your menu. If you're going to be doing a catering business, you're not going to go into a venue, you have acquired a premise, and you're not even sure what you're going to be providing to people. So you need to draw up your menu. So you think, okay, me, I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3. So you will tell yourself, by February, I need to know what is the menu which is going to be on my business. Then you can look at it and say, by March, I need to know what is my by first, even before you go to March, be February there, you need to know what is going to be the cost of my business, my annual budget for this year. Probably my budget, because we are starting, is just going to be maybe $1,000 or 100,000 Ugandan shillings, Tanzanian shillings, whatever it is. You set your goal. What is going to be your budget? When you do not have that kind of specifications, you can overspend, you can underspend, you can just spend, and you will not even know where you're going. So what we are trying to make you is to become as specific as possible. So you say, by February, I should really know how much this business is going to cost me. So you put down you have your budget. Then you start saying, for this catering business to run properly, I need to set prices. What am I going to be selling? What are the prices? You break down. So these are just examples we are giving on how you can break down your year. You set down there. You can say, by March, I need to set my prices. I need to test my dishes. Are these dishes going to be things which people will like or they will not like? Are they going to be okay in the market? Once you have done that, you can say, okay, by March, I will have my dishes tasted. People will give me feedback. I need to have personnel. I need to have staff. Who is going to be doing the work? You need to know that. So those are the specific details. But also, if it's a small scale business, you can as well start by yourself. You don't need to employ anyone at the beginning, because we need to start from down there. Then maybe you can start thinking, where will I get the money? You've written your budget. Your budget is $1,000. How am I going to raise this money? Am I going to use savings which are already in my account? Or if I don't have, where am I going? I am a member of a microfinance group. Back home we have this microfinance. Am I going to secure a loan there, or will my bank give me a loan? So that is something that you need to start working even from the beginning of your project by August. If you have set, at least I would say, within 8 months, I should have secured my finances to start the business for that 1 year. Because if you don't set that one, you will not know what steps to be taking to do that. Then you need to identify, where is our business going to be running from? Am I going to be operating from home, or I am going to rent a little premises somewhere where the business is more marketable. So you will secure a place, you will get the necessary equipment. So all those things, you need to have them in place at least by August, for example. Then you need to identify, where is going to be the source of my supplies. If I'm going to be making kebabs or chicken and where am I going to be buying this chicken? It's better you become very specific. You tell yourself, where are my supplies going to be coming from? From the local market? Do I have to travel 300 miles, or I can establish contacts with somebody? You try to explore all those options. Then you say you need to start publicizing your business. So probably between August and November, you are seriously doing publicity of your business. And then once you have done all those, you say, by December, my business is ready for launching. You see, this we have just given as an example of one project, and now we have broken it down into 12 months. The reason we are telling us to break it down into 12 months is because it helps you to see that you need small steps to achieve the bigger goal.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And even, can I add something, June? When you are talking, I just thought about the way when we get ambitions, we are so driven to achieve something so fast that we are overlooking details. Yeah. But as you're specifying all these things, I said we need attention to details.
Yes.
Take an example, that part which you explained, that you need to carry out like a research, know where to locate your business. If you're someone who doesn't think in details, you may think, oh, things just come like that. But that involves a lot of work. First of all, you don't set up your business, for example, this example we are looking at of a restaurant, anywhere. You have to do a research. Where is my market? Where are the people likely to buy? People who are busy, maybe they have no time to go home to cook, or where there's a school, a university, location. So attention to details is very key when you're breaking down your goal, because it will help you notice those things that will help you move swiftly, because you paid attention to all those details. And I also want to read a few comments from our viewers.
Yeah.
Pastor Ellie is saying, make sure the goal you're working for is something you really want, not just something that sounds good. Yeah. That is so true. It has to be your passion, your desire, because it's about discovering yourself. Then Sammy is saying, set a bigger goal within the goal. For example, if it is catering, that is your goal, you can say that by 2023, you want to influence people to eat healthily, as compared to now when people eat only fast foods that aren't so healthy, okay? Any other comment? Let me see. Sammy also says, break down the 5 years term into bits to achieve smaller goals. For example, year 1 could be undertaking the foundational work. Year 2 could be buying a place, equipment, etc. Okay, I'm looking for other comments. I think I've read all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, June, continue.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lee. I can see you are watching. Thank you. So you see, we have broken that big vision of having, a catering business. You have broken it into 1 year. Now you have even taken that 1 year, you have put it into 12 months. So now you are going to break down even the month. You need to break down that month, because you're not just going to sit there and say, oh, in month 1, I need to identify my catering specialty, to identify what is it that I'm going to do, and you just sit down there. That month, you need to break it down into weeks.
Activities
So
for the week.
yeah, activities for the week. So I will give an example. When we were saying like on the first month we are saying is identify your catering specialty. Like if
Yeah.
I'm going to do this business, what is it that I'm going to do? So I will say like if it were me who is doing that business, I will tell myself the first week I need to research what is available by visiting at least 3 catering businesses which are around. So that is an
Yes.
activity. I will tell myself the first 2 weeks, I have to make sure I have gone into 3 businesses. I need to go and see what do they have there. So I will go. Maybe there is a KFC. I will go at KFC. We think we know everything until you go somewhere. You will realize, okay, KFC, they've got chicken wings, they've got big pieces of chicken, they have chips and what and what. Okay. So while you have gone there, you've ordered your meal, you've checked the menu, you are actually doing your research. You are asking yourself, in these businesses which I've visited, what is available? What do they offer? What is missing? And what, because all you
Or
want,
what are they doing good that you
yeah,
can emulate?
yes, yeah, what are they doing good that you can learn? And what is missing that you can top up in you? Because remember, your vision is about adding value.
Yeah.
Your vision is always about adding value. So if you are going to establish another takeaway or fast food, or a restaurant where there are already other restaurants, you need to come up with something that is going to be of value, that will make people notice that it's different. Yeah, I mean, it's different from what is already there. I always see, like, here you can have a town, there is Burger King, there is McDonald's, there is KFC, there is Nando's. If you look at those different catering businesses, they have a specialty. McDonald's, it's all about burgers. So whatever they do, there has to be a burger. When you talk of Nando's chicken, it's grilled chicken. It's not just chicken. When you're talking of KFC, it's fried chicken. So what is it going to be your specialty that will be different from what is already there? So you have to research. So I will tell myself, okay, in this month where I want to really identify my specialty, the first 2 weeks, I am going to go to at least 3 restaurants and do that. And then I will say week 3 and 4, I will need to read something maybe about healthy menu options. You need to research, not just by going, but increase your knowledge about that something. So probably I will say, I will Google online, or I can buy some books about healthy eating, so that I widen up my knowledge concerning this thing I want to do. It's what sometimes we do. You just think of a catering business, you get up, you carry your pots and you throw yourself into the market. You have not done your research. That's where many of us fail. So break down even that activity into that. You can say, you can look, what are other people doing the same? What can I do different? So take time. So I would use like the first month to have like those little specifications. I'm going to research, visit 3 restaurants. So I map out my month. I know by the second week, I really need to know what is out there in the market. What are they doing good? Where can I improve? So what are other options have I given myself? So that is my monthly goal, So
Or also looking out for small courses like food and hygiene.
Yes,
You can start doing it.
Yeah. So those are the things you need to break down to see what are the things that you need to do. Because when you do that, for example, you've mentioned about hygiene, you have researched and you've done. You will look, once you have done that and you have accomplished that in week 1, week 2, it motivates you to move to another step, because you know the part of that bigger mountain is starting to be conquered. So you will break down even on that week. If week 1 and week 2 you have said, I am going to visit 3 catering businesses, when it comes to those weeks, break it down. What days are you going to be going? So I will say maybe on Monday, the 2nd of January, or I will be visiting KFC, or I will be visiting that restaurant which is closer to somewhere. And then on Thursday, the 5th, I will be visiting this other place. You need to have those detailed specifications written down, to the extent that at the end of the 2 weeks, you will look back and you see, this is what I set for myself. Did I achieve them? If I didn't achieve them, what do I need to do? So this example which we have given ourselves is just one of many. It can be anything which you desire, but we want you to take the principle. Have your bigger vision, set your time. It can be 5 years, it can be 10 years. Break the vision into one year, 1 year portions. The 1 year portion, break it into 12 months. The 12 months, break it into weeks. The weeks, break it into days. And then even the days, allocate the time, because you know, some of you are mothers, you are husbands, you are teachers, you are employed. So you need to now start mapping up your day. That is where time management comes in.
Yeah.
When we are teaching about this whole aspect of setting goals, it's actually all about maximizing the time we have.
Yes.
So you need to know, when do I go to work? I go to work between this time and this time. Then I need to branch off. Maybe during my lunch hour break, that's when I will go and do my research and eat in one of the restaurants. So you need to have those details down, and you will do that. So what we are trying to say, every monthly goal, break it down into simple activities. For weekly goals, set out specific days for specific tasks. And what we are also encouraging you is, do not allow a day to pass without giving thought, or an hour or two concerning your vision. Because when a day passes and you have not done what you intend to do for that week or for that month, that's where you start losing interest, you start lagging behind. Even if it's just lying down and read a book concerning that, even if it's sitting on the web and Googling information about that, keep your dream alive, keep your vision alive by investing at least 1 or 2 hours a day, so that it continues to be alive in you. And as days go on, you will realize how what you had thought was too big is actually achievable. So once you have done that with your first year, you have broken it down, then you can go ahead and start doing the same, following the following steps for year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, or whatever lifespan you have given your project. So in a nutshell, though it took long, that is how you take really time to draw your goals.
Wow. June, that was so, I don't know how to explain it. It was so good, so detailed, and anyone could just relate to that. So thank you so much. So we have just 4 minutes left. So the last bit we wanted to talk about is to, now that you've drawn your plan of how to set your goal, okay, put a system to review yourself, to evaluate what you're doing and your activities. And we recommend you do this monthly. And that is why, just like also DSA encourages all of us, each month, take time out for a retreat. During this retreat, you can even sit down and say, okay, how have I performed? What is lagging behind? What stopped me from achieving that goal? How can I overcome that limitation? So that's how we improve ourselves, we improve our processes, and that's how we motivate ourselves to really achieve our goal. If you don't look back on your work and review yourself, evaluate how you're doing, you will think everything is okay. Okay. And a good aspect to this is never to work in isolation. That is why we can all never achieve anything as an island. That's why you need people around you, people you shared your goal with, your vision with, people that you can turn to and say, you know what, so far this is what I've done. Can you always, just ask me how far I've gone, or someone you can be accountable to. We talked about accountability partners, with Sister Chinwe last week, and it's also a key in setting goals. Have someone you're accountable to, someone you can report to. This is what I've achieved. This is what I've set to achieve this month. I'll come back this month and give you results. And that person will call you up. I'll go, hello, Esther. You said you do this. How far have you gone? That keeps you awake. You can't you can't doze and so and procrastinate. No, because there's someone who's going to ask you that question and you don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah.
So let it be someone you don't want to disappoint. That's very important.
Yeah. Also, we want people, even though we are saying you really need to be specific and put all these plan in place. Remember that sometimes it doesn't always go according to plan. The first time I did my, I set up my year, I put my goals, I was so enthusiastic. When the year came to an end and I assessed myself, I actually realized I only achieved 45%. Initially, I felt really bad, but actually, after looking at it, I realized I did very well because first and foremost, at least I knew what I have achieved. I could spot the areas of the things which I didn't do. Maybe I had set myself, I will read 12 books in this year. Maybe I read 5. So I knew I needed to ask myself, why didn't I manage to read the 12 books I put? Did I overdo it? Or was I, the time I should have read books, was I doing other things? So even when you don't get it right the very first time, don't beat yourself up, because there are some of the things we cannot tell. You are planning to hold an open air meeting, before you realize it rains torrentially. You can't hold that meeting, so you will cancel that. There is something you could have done about it. But you see, the reason we tell us to set goals and this, because it helps us to start identifying areas where we need to improve ourselves immediately. You don't have to wait until 5 years, then you realize you actually didn't do anything. So if there is something you said to do in month 1 and you didn't do it, straight away you will notice it and you will start making adjustments. So that is one thing we are saying. Please don't beat yourself up when you don't make it right the very first time. It's a learning process. We are all working on it.
All right. Thank you, June, for that. So, our dear friends, we've come to the end of our broadcast. And one last thing we can say is that goal setting wakes you up. It takes you out of your comfort zone. So it's always good to incorporate it in your process of discovering yourself. Have something that is measurable, something that is time bound and specific, something that you show someone, or at the end of the day and say, yeah, I achieved this. So let us all, dare to take this challenge and work towards our goals and achieving them. Okay, because we have so much in us, and the whole earth is waiting for those resources to come out of us, for those resources to be converted to products. Okay. June, lastly, what is our action point before we leave?
Our action point, when we began, we asked ourselves, can you write down that vision of yours? Just write it down. because it was too much for everyone to process each and everything as we are going. So since you know your vision, or at least you have an idea of what you want to do, then take time to really go and break down that into activities. Set a time frame for that, break it down into annual goals, break it down into monthly, and break it down into weekly, and then start taking the small steps towards achieving it.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. As Sachin was saying, thank you, Jude and Esther. It's very detailed. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you so much.
So we appreciate you for joining us this morning. We hope you have a lovely weekend. Okay. So see you next time. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Okay. Bye.